I think I was on such a high anyway, and so was Catherine, about George, that really we were happy to show him off to whoever wanted to see him. As any new parent knows, you're only too happy to show off.
There are moments in royal history that feel significant when they happen. And then there are moments that you look back on years later and realize were the turning point. The moment when something quietly, irreversibly shifted. Yesterday was one of those moments. On the 27th of June, the official Instagram account for the Prince and Princess of Wales posted a video. And at first glance, you might have scrolled past it. A mother and son on a day out at an RAF base. Nice, sweet. But if you watched it properly, if you really looked, it stopped you. Because the boy standing beside Catherine, Princess of Wales, dressed in a navy blazer, almost exactly her height, entirely composed in front of cameras at a major national event, that boy is 12 years old. That boy is the future King of England. And nobody in that video, not Kate, not the RAF pilots and engineers around them, not the young prince himself, was treating it like a day out. They were treating it like the beginning of something. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll understand that what happened at RAF Coningsby yesterday was not one isolated moment. It was the final piece of a picture that has been quietly assembling for months. And when you see the full picture, the aviation lessons, the school decision, the deliberate choices William and Kate have been making behind the scenes, it will take on a completely different weight. Let's start at the beginning. The 27th of June, 2026. Armed Forces Day in the United Kingdom. This is not a casual occasion. Armed Forces Day is one of the most significant dates in the British national calendar. A day when the country pauses, genuinely pauses, to honor every man and woman who has served, is serving, and who has given their life in service of this country. The event is taken seriously. The symbolism matters. And the Wales family chose to mark it by sending Kate and George. Not William, not a senior member of the extended family. Catherine, Princess of Wales, and her 12-year-old son. The caption on the video they shared read, in full, honoring service and sacrifice, marking Armed Forces Day by reflecting on time spent with the Battle of Britain Memorial Flight at RAF Coningsby. Learning about the extraordinary history of these aircraft and meeting the pilots and engineers who keep their legacy alive, a powerful reminder of the courage, skill, and dedication of those who serve, past and present. Thank you to all those who have served and continue to serve. Read that again slowly, because every word of it is deliberate. Learning, meeting, understanding legacy, a powerful reminder. This isn't the language of a photo opportunity. It's the language of an education. Inside the base, Kate and George were shown some of the most historically important aircraft in Britain. The Battle of Britain Memorial Flight is based at Coningsby, a collection of Second World War planes maintained to flying condition as a tribute to the men who flew them. Among them, a Lancaster heavy bomber, a Hawker Hurricane, and a Supermarine Spitfire, arguably the most iconic aircraft in British history. George climbed up into the cockpit of one of those aircraft. He sat where young men once sat before flying into battle over southern England in 1940. He asked questions of the pilots and engineers around him. He listened, he looked, and then he stood in front of the cameras, beside his mother, and did something that sounds simple, but is actually quite remarkable for a 12-year-old. He looked completely at ease, not nervous, not performing, not doing that thing children sometimes do at formal events where you can tell they'd rather be anywhere else. He was engaged, he was present, he was comfortable in a space that most adults would find intimidating. And he was, as the entire internet immediately noticed, almost exactly the same height as his 5'9" mother. That detail stopped people. Because the last time the world got a really good look at George standing on the Buckingham Palace balcony during Trooping the Colour just weeks earlier, he still looked like a boy. Young, still growing into himself. But in the RAF footage, something had changed. Multiple news outlets, royal commentators, and fan accounts across social media all said the same thing within hours of the video dropping. Almost word for word, almost all at once. He looks exactly like William. Now, there's a reason that comparison keeps coming up, and it's not just about bone structure or height, although both are striking. It's something harder to define. Prince William, at 12 years old, was already being shaped, already being prepared, already standing beside his mother at public engagements, in a suit, shaking hands with dignitaries, learning through experience what duty looked like in practice. And here is George, the same age William was when that quiet preparation began, doing the same thing, in a suit, at a solemn national event, beside his mother, doing his father's job. There's a weight to that parallel that is difficult to overstate. William once said that he understood from a very young age that there was a role he was born to play, and that the only way to carry it well was to lean toward it rather than away from it, to not wait for the moment of duty to arrive, but to go and meet it. Every single frame of yesterday's footage suggests that George has understood the same thing. Now, here's the question I know you're asking. Where was William? Because this was Armed Forces Day. This was RAF Coningsby, a base that William himself has profound personal ties to. Queen Elizabeth appointed him Honorary Air Commandant of RAF Coningsby in recognition of the family's long-standing relationship with the station. Aviation isn't an abstract interest for William, it was his career, his actual job. He served as a fully qualified search and rescue pilot. He conducted 156 rescue operations. He saved lives. So why wasn't the Prince of Wales at an Armed Forces Day engagement at the base where he once held an honorary appointment? The palace hasn't given a specific public explanation, but here's what we can look at, and it matters more than the absence itself. In previous years, even 2 or 3 years ago, if William couldn't attend something, one of two things would happen. Either Kate would go alone, or the engagement simply wouldn't take place. George would not have been the answer. He was at school. He was too young. He wasn't ready. But yesterday, the answer was George. The palace doesn't do anything by accident when it comes to royal public appearances. Every caption, every venue, every occasion, every choice of who attends and why considered. Deliberate, intentional. The decision to send the 12-year-old heir to the most solemn national tribute day of the calendar at an RAF base in front of cameras is a statement, clear and unmistakable to anyone who knows how to read it. Royal commentators have started using a very specific phrase to describe what's unfolding. They're calling it the beginning of George's king treatment, the slow, careful process by which the palace introduces the next heir to the public consciousness, not just as the famous child of famous parents, but as a future sovereign in his own right. Think about what that means. One day, decades from now, hopefully a very long time from now, George will be the head of state of the United Kingdom. He will be the ceremonial commander-in-chief of the British Armed Forces. He will inherit the honorary title of Marshal of the Royal Air Force. The aircraft at RAF Coningsby, the history they carry, the sacrifice they represent, will be part of his inheritance as king. Yesterday, he started to understand that. And here's where the story gets genuinely extraordinary. Because what happened at RAF Coningsby isn't an isolated moment. There is a thread running through this royal family, through the men of this family in particular, that goes back generations. And George, standing in that cockpit, is the newest stitch in a very long and very deliberate tapestry. Let's go back. 1952. White Waltham Airfield, Berkshire. Prince Philip George's great-great-grandfather by marriage begins his flying training at that airfield. He receives his Royal Air Force wings the following year. It's the beginning of a royal aviation tradition that will shape the family for decades. Then comes King Charles, who qualified as an RAF pilot during his own military service in the 1970s, following in his father's footsteps. Then comes Prince William, who took it further than either of them. William didn't just fly ceremonially, he built a proper military aviation career. He trained as a search and rescue pilot, joining 22 Squadron at RAF Valley in Anglesey. Over 3 years of operational service, he conducted those 156 search and rescue operations. Then he transitioned to become a civilian air ambulance pilot, flying genuine 999 emergency responses for the East Anglian Air Ambulance. For William, aviation wasn't a title, it was a calling. And now, George. Here is the detail that will stop you completely if you haven't heard it before. September 2024, the last day of the school summer holidays. An 11-year-old Prince George is driven to White Waltham Airfield near Maidenhead in Berkshire, a 20-minute drive from the Wales family home in Windsor. His parents, William and Kate, come with him. They stand on the ground and watch as their son climbs into a single-engine Piper PA, 28 dual controls, designed for beginners, and takes off with a flight instructor. He is in the air for an hour. When he lands, one onlooker who was there told a reporter, "He loved it. It's the right time to start. The royal family has a proud tradition of flying, and it looks like George is next in line." Now hold that address in your mind for a moment. White Waltham Airfield, the same airfield where Prince Philip began his flying training in 1952. 72 years later, his great-great-grandson took his first lesson at the exact same place. There's something in that which is almost impossible to put into words. A family continuity that runs not just through titles and palaces, but through the actual experience of leaving the ground, of feeling what those men before them felt at the same place, in the same Berkshire air. George's younger brother Louis, just 8 years old, is also reportedly aviation obsessed. Kate revealed during her own first visit to RAF Coningsby last year that Louis has told people he wants to be a fighter pilot one day. This family doesn't do aviation as a hobby, it runs in the blood. And now, under UK aviation regulations, the clock is ticking in the most exciting possible way. George can't officially log flying hours toward a license until he turns 14. He can fly solo at 16. He can hold a full private pilot's license at 17. The path is the same one walked before him by Philip, Charles, and William. Yesterday at RAF Coningsby, in that Spitfire cockpit, he took another step along it. But the RAF visit doesn't exist on its own. And to fully understand the momentum behind what's happening right now in George's life, you have to look at everything together. Because just 11 days before yesterday's engagement, Kensington Palace made another announcement, one that, in its own way, carries just as much significance. Prince George will attend Eton College, starting September this year. Now, if the full weight of that hasn't landed yet, let it. Eton College, founded in 1440 by King Henry VI, educated 19 British prime ministers. Sat on the banks of the Thames, a scenic walk across a bridge from Windsor Castle, 15 minutes from the Wales family's home at Forest Lodge. And William went to Eton. Harry went to Eton. George will follow them both. The confirmation came on the 16th of June. And for months before that, there had been genuine speculation. Would George follow his father to Eton, or would William and Kate choose a co-educational school, somewhere George and his sister Charlotte could continue together? Marlborough College, where Kate herself was educated, was discussed frequently. So were Oundle, Radley, others. In the end, they chose Eton. Royal commentator Charlotte Griffiths spoke about the decision and said something that stayed with people. "I think that on this one, William was pushing hard for Eton, and they did flip-flop over the issue," she said. "Ultimately, William always wanted Eton and thinks it's the right place for George. It breeds leaders." And then she added, "William and George are very close, and William will be making sure George is well prepared." That phrase, "William will be making sure George is well prepared," that's a father preparing his son, not for school, for everything that comes after. A source close to the Wales family told People magazine that George himself has always wanted to follow in his dad's footsteps. He visited the school more than once before the decision was made. He was, reportedly, very pleased to be offered a place, excited about his new uniform. He wants to do what William did. He wants to stand where his father stood. And Queen Elizabeth's former press secretary, Ailsa Anderson, made a point that speaks to how William and Kate approach every major decision. Both William and Catherine carried out a lot of research to make the right decision, she said. William loved his time at Eton, but he would have thought about what school would be the best for George's strengths, qualities, and personality. This is the thing about William and Kate that often gets lost in all the noise. They are, above everything else, thoughtful parents. They don't make decisions on tradition alone. They don't simply inherit a path and follow it without question. They research, they discuss, they consider what's right for each specific child. And the decisions they are making right now, Eton, public engagements, the RAF, what experiences a 12-year-old future king should be having before the full weight of destiny becomes unavoidable. Those decisions are being made with immense, careful, deliberate love, which brings us back to the footage from yesterday. Kate, standing beside a World War II aircraft at a Royal Air Force base, with her eldest son at her shoulder. Both of them in coordinated Navy blazers. Both of them present, engaged, serious. Watch Kate in that footage. There's something in her expression, a kind of quiet pride that you don't often see. She's been through so much in the last few years. The withdrawal from public life, the cancer diagnosis, the treatment, the return, the recovery. She came back. And she came back strong. And now here she is, on Armed Forces Day, at an RAF station, introducing her son to something he will one day inherit. Not pushing him, not performing for the cameras, just being there with him. Teaching by being present. The most powerful kind of teaching there is. George once said, or at least a source very close to the family has said on his behalf, that he's always wanted to follow in his father's footsteps. To do what William did. To go where William went. Yesterday, at RAF Coningsby, he did exactly that. He stood where his father has stood. In uniform, or close to it, at an RAF base, on Armed Forces Day. He listened to pilots. He sat in a Spitfire cockpit. He honored the sacrifice of people who gave everything for this country, and he did it age 12. Here's the bigger picture, and it matters. King Charles is in his mid-70s. He has navigated his own health challenges with considerable dignity. William is now formally the Prince of Wales, first in line to the throne, doing the work of a future king while still trying to be a present, hands-on father of 3. And George is 12, standing at the beginning of a life that will be unlike anything most of us can imagine. Not because of glamour, not because of palaces, but because of the weight of it. The responsibility of it. The weight of being the symbol that a nation needs you to be every single day for the rest of your life. The British monarchy has endured for over 1,000 years, not by being static, by evolving, by finding ways to pass something essential, not just titles, but values, a sense of duty, a willingness to serve from one generation to the next. What happened at RAF Coningsby yesterday was a glimpse of that transmission in action. A mother who fought her way back from something frightening, who returned to public life with grace and purpose, standing beside her 12-year-old son in front of aircraft that represent the ultimate sacrifice, showing him, in the most concrete and real way possible, what service means, why it matters, what it looks like to honor people who gave everything. And in the footage you can see it in his face. George gets it. He isn't there because he has to be. He isn't performing. He isn't enduring the day until it's over. He is the future King of England. And yesterday, for one afternoon in Lincolnshire, the world got its clearest look yet at who that king is going to be. He is going to be extraordinary. If this video told you something you hadn't heard before, please hit the like button. It genuinely helps more people find this content. And if you want to be here for every development as it happens, subscribe now, because this story is only just beginning. George is 12. He's about to start at Eton. He's been in a Spitfire cockpit and taken a flying lesson at the same airfield where his great-great-grandfather learned to fly 70 years ago. And the palace is quietly, deliberately, preparing him for everything that lies ahead. Next, we're going deep on the moment Kate came back. After the cancer diagnosis, after the treatment, after months out of the public eye, what her return actually meant. For the family, for the country, and for what it tells us about who Catherine, Princess of Wales, really is. That one goes up very soon. Don't miss it. And subscribe if you haven't already. Every week, we go deep on the royal family, the history, the moments that matter, the stories behind the stories.